Please do type something in the chat. I can see the chat. At least I hope I can see the chat. It just disappeared. Yeah, there you go. Can you see me? Can you hear me? The internet connection is not the best, and this is a mobile hotspot from my... Yes. All right, so I'm obviously at Starbase right now, and this is, as always, live and crazy. I mean, there's so much going on here right now. Give me a second. I want to switch the camera. And bear with me. This is all on my phone and with the lavalier mic. So give me a second. So this is my car, and there's my little kid sitting there in the sand in front of the Starbase, and this is the place. There's a lot of stuff going on the tank farm today. I really do hope that I'm... Oh, wait. I have to... Okay, give me a second. Honey! Where'd you put my phone? You can't... is that mine?
Yeah, I'm retrieving.
All right, because there's a hotspot, and
okay.
Everybody is looking at us through the...
Yeah.
Give me a second. I'm gonna... See, there's my wife, and she's got my phone in her hand.
I'm retweeting.
She's tweeting right now.
Account.
But the problem is that the hotspot this live stream is running from is going through the phone, so I can't go away from her right now, as usual.
And I just stuck, and you won't see me. But I'm still here.
She's still there. Give us a second. I'll give you a nice tour of the whole place and what's going on right now. Yesterday they did some QD testing on the Orbital launch mount, which was pretty awesome to witness. And it's just mind-blowing what's going on here. So if you ever have the chance to go down here, do so. This is incredible. SpaceX is turning every stone down here. Last time I was here was March of last year, and it was so much smaller back then. You can barely imagine how much this has grown since then. All right,
we're tweeted and have fun.
All right.
Enjoy your tour.
I'm gonna walk off with you guys, and I really do hope that I'm not losing reception here. So I'm gonna turn the camera around again to give you the tour. So here is the Orbital fuel farm, and pictures don't tell the story. This thing is so huge. I mean, give me a second. I'm gonna go over here and there were some workers there earlier. Yeah, there's the guy. You might not be able to spot him. Give me a second. There's a car going by. There you go. There's a worker over there, right next to the yellow crane. You can see his legs because he's bending over the tube over there, and that it's just here. I mean, there's a car. This is a truck, and now look at this. These are huge. There are gigantic tanks. The last time I was here, the Orbital fuel farm didn't exist yet, and so I only saw this in pictures so far, from Louise and Chief, and this is so much bigger in reality. This is crazy. And I talked to a few people. This thing, no matter what rumors you might have heard, there's 2 more workers there. So to get you the scale again, these 2 people over there walking there, see that? And then it goes like this. The thing is huge. And I talked to a few people yesterday, and the capacity of that thing is 1 launch, not 2 or 3 back-to-back or something, what people have calculated. It's 1 launch for 8 tanks. So that is pretty crazy. And the Orbital launch mount is losing scaffolding right now, so they're taking that out as well. And the final tests are going for the equipment, basically. I really do hope that the reception holds. I'm going to take out my phone from the pocket to see how many bars I have here, because it's pretty poor. But AT&T is building something that'll... Oh, it's 3 bars, actually, so this should work. Okay, so the final equipment setup is going on over there, because, like I said, I talked to a few people yesterday, and they're, let's say, involved in all this. And yeah, we're in for a big show here. It's going to be huge what SpaceX is doing down here. And they're in the final preparations. So Elon's January for an orbital launch is not too far off. Even though this might still look like heavy construction and so on, it's pretty much in the final testing phase. All right, give me a second. Hi, I'm Felix.
Felix, I know. I follow your...
Hello.
I follow your...
But the channel?
Podcast.
Yeah.
All
right.
I follow you all the time.
Yeah,
man.
I'm live streaming right now.
Oh,
There's 800 people are
I
watching
know.
us, and they can probably hear you even because there's the microphone if you want to say hello.
Hey guys, how are you? Amanda?
There you go.
Fort Worth.
So yeah, It's good meeting you too. Anthony, hey. Give me a second. That's Anthony right there. This is the guy who is the owner of the Rocket Ranch, where we had Thanksgiving dinner and awesome meetups in the last 2 days. If you're ever here down at Starbase, that's the place to go. Best coffee in the area, and you don't get more authentic and closer to Starbase than at Rocket Ranch. So give them a shout, and yeah, it's amazing. Thank you so much, Anthony.
My pleasure. Nice having you.
All right, more and more people are coming in.
We're the real show, guys.
Yeah. All right, I'm switching the camera again. I'm trying to read the chat, so if you have any questions, I'm trying to pick them up, but on the phone, of course, it's a bit more difficult than, yeah, let's say in the studio. But it's working, and I did this the last time, and it worked out fine, so we'll do it again. Like I said, I have 3 bars right now, reception, so this should work. All right, so there is Booster 4, and behind it is Ship 20, and on the side is Booster 3, and that is actually going to be scrapped. So there have been some rumors that Booster 3 is going to be used for prop tests. That is not in the books right now, so it's likely going to be scrapped, which is fine. I mean, it did its thing, and it was a test candidate anyway, and that's what you do when you're prototyping. And then there's this huge new crane, and all of this looks so much bigger in reality. If you only see this in pictures, the thing is gigantic. Everything here is gigantic. It's absolutely amazing to be here. So again, if you ever have the chance to come down here, you should really do it. It's so worth it. All right, give me a second. I'm switching the camera here. I gotta push this button. All right. Thank you for the super chat. Smooth, juicy. Felix, thank you. And you're gone. There you go again. And you're so lucky being here. Yeah. It's an honor to be here. Honestly, it's. I mean, look at that. Yes, they walked up into to the production site. I always call it on my episode. I call it the construction site, but actually the SpaceX crew calls it the production site. And we look at the latest progress on the Mega Bay, which is the correct name for the new high bay, and it's like I said, gigantic down here. You can't imagine how big this is in reality. So if you've got any questions, I'm trying to pick them up. And this is the place where we're not only going to go to the moon and Mars if this works out. This is the place where the journey might start into the galaxy, because once we're on Mars, we're not going to stop there, because we will have proven that we can reach another planet with a settlement, and then from there on the story is going to continue. So basically, if this works out, this is, in 200 years from now, there's going to be a fence around this. Well, if it's still in business, it's probably going to be 10 times as big. But if not, this is going to be a historic ground, basically. This is like the Mercury test beds, basically, just much, much bigger and much more important. Are the Maxilla arms human or computer controlled? So they are computer controlled. There are cameras on the chopsticks, and there are markers on boosters. As we speculated before, it's an optical tracking system that is going to help the tower itself to find the booster and then align the chopsticks with the booster while it is going down. So basically, it's what we've all been speculating for a while now. And they have implemented actuators and what's the English word for that? Screw actuators on the. Give me a second. I'll try to use my finger. So here on these bars, on the top of these bars, the boosters are going to set down, and then once they are in, you have these things you can see right there, barely pointing out of the chopsticks themselves on the very tip. You see these screws, and those are mounted to plates that will lock the booster in place and then put it on the orbital launch mount again to go again. So it's a very simple but very effective system, as always with SpaceX. It's not overly complicated, even though it's huge. It's actually fairly simple. It's a very simple and elegant design. It's never been done, and even the change to the chopsticks and to catching a booster was done on the fly. In the beginning, as you all remember, the starships had legs, and the actual plan was to land them on the parking lot that's right behind these cars over there. It's now a parking lot. It's not even a pad anymore. So the whole idea of catching them came while building all this. And this is the best example for iterative design. They change this on the fly. If they find a better solution, they're doing that. Audio and image are bad. That is sad. Give me a second. It should be fairly good though. Give me a second. I'm gonna walk down here. I got 3 bars, so it might be the provider themselves causing the problem because I have a pretty good reception here. Is it better now? Because I walked down the road a little bit. That's where I started the stream. It's always a problem if you're not, I'm not a local yet. I hope I'll be at some point. So I don't have there are systems that you can use to go live with a better reception, but I don't have those yet. I plan to get them as soon as I'm settled in the United States. I'll get some proper live stream equipment, and there are some other plans here forming right now. While I'm down here, I made a lot of new contacts, and there's a few things I don't really want to talk about yet, but going to happen on the channel, and it's going to be pretty cool. So look out for that. I hope quality is a bit better now. I'm scrolling through the chat here right now. Okay. Hello, Jessica. Where are you? Are you on site? I can't see you. Everybody's here. I'm sorry. I'm going to switch my camera. Here we go. Now you can see my face. I'm scrolling through the chat right now. Okay, so
Did you answer this one? Were you able to visit the Kennedy Space Center and Space Shuttle Atlantis when you were in Titusville?
Yes, I was to visit the Space Shuttle, the Kennedy Space Center. Give me a second. I'm going to switch the camera again.
I thought you were.
I was able to visit, of course, again, KSC, Atlantis, Saturn V. I did the whole thing again, and this time with the family, which was absolutely awesome because they have never seen all this and they are mind blown right now. Seeing a Saturn V for the first time in reality. Like I said, pictures only tell so much. The size of something doesn't come across on a picture. So yeah, they were blown away by everything. And we spent 9 days. Oh, that's argon coming in. That's the stuff you only can see live. Look at this. There's a forklift coming in with more argon for welding work. And it's steaming. And you stand right next to it. Look at this. My wife is going to try to find more questions for you, so stay tuned. There you go. Argon. Yeah, the Saturn V was a magnificent rocket. I totally agree. It was incredible. And standing under those F1 engines, the 5 engines on the first stage, like I said, pictures don't tell size very good, and it's just gigantic. It's enormous, huge. It's hard to find words for that stuff. And what SpaceX is doing here might be even more important than Apollo if it actually works out. It's going to be our gateway, not just to Mars, but maybe it's going to be the foundation stone to go to everything else around our planet. Raptors lose, no trespassing. And the forklift just went in. Maybe we are going to see some more QD testing, but right now the lifts on the tower are going up and down, and that basically means there are no tests going to happen soon because they have to clear the pad and the tower before they start testing the QD system on the orbital launch mount because parts could fly around and stuff like that. So that's always a good signal. If you see them clear the tower, not the whole site, just the tower and the pad, they're about to do some more QD testing. And that, of course, is just to find the correct flow rates and to dial in the system so that you can make very sure that it all works properly once you have a rocket that you want to launch from here. Did you meet Mary? No, I haven't yet. She's eluded me, but she's always on site, and you can normally find her somewhere around. I'm going to definitely walk up to the Raptor, to the Rooster. Is it the rover cam? I think the rover cam is on the beach down there. The Boca Chica beach is down there. And I was talking to Louis yesterday. He came to Rocket Ranch to meet up with us, and he told me where the Raptor cam is, and I think that's the one on the beach. and I'm going to walk up on the dunes and do a little dance in front of the La Padre camera. I just have to, you know. So I'll definitely do that. And I've met so many nice people. So it's so awesome to be down here. Jessica was here, Jessica Kirsch. She's on the chat right now, so she might be coming down. I don't know. I hope so. That would be really cool to have her as a guest on the live stream. And I'll do this live stream until the batteries die, basically. So, and the battery's at 58% right now, and it was at, I think, 60 something when I started. So there's some time left. Tell us when. Right after the live stream, I'm going to walk down to the beach and do the little dance in front of the camera. So look out for that. Go to La Padre and see if you can find me, spot me on the cameras. I got a present yesterday, and she hasn't taken it off since she got it. Komm mal her, Helle, ich zeig dich mal. Look at this. She's a future Martian. She has a Starman suit. Bleib mal stehen, ich will um dich rumlaufen. Pass auf. Look at that. This thing is absolutely awesome. And she got it as a present from somebody, and she's so happy with it, and she doesn't even want to take it off anymore. And I get why. So there you go. That's my daughter. All right, I'm back. Yeah, it's awesome to be here. And once we're settled in Florida, and that's hopefully going to happen now. New date is March, actually, not April, so it might even happen a month sooner. And yeah, once we're down here, I'm going to be here so often. You can bet on that. And I'm really looking forward to SpaceX starting their work. Well, I've got some rumors here and there that they might have already started their work at the Cape, and they're of course also going to start launching starships from down there. So we'll have 2 locations that we can check out for action, and it's going to be something. Ask Elon for the Wi-Fi password. The problem with the Wi-Fi down here, actually, I know about the Wi-Fi, but the problem is it's got 1 MB upload. So I don't know if that's going to be enough. I could try, but I don't, without permission, really want to. So if it's too bad, please keep shouting out, and I'll try something more. But I'm just lacking the professional out on the dunes live streaming equipment right now. But I'll get that. That's a promise. Jessica has much better equipment because she's been down here so many times and live streaming from the road. This is my 4th live stream I do from here. Last year I did 3 live streams from here from the road, and this year this is the first one. Yeah, I'm moving to Florida and I can't wait for it. It's fine. All right, good. Thank you. And I might even be able to get a tour at Starbase. Not this time because it was too short of a notice. But I made some connections, and one of these people might even be able to give me a tour at Starbase. So that would be so cool. I would love to do that, of course. Yesterday we visited the Flaps restaurant, and I do want to point out, whenever you're down here, it is private property, and you can only enter if you have permission. So please don't approach anything down here. I'm not even crossing the road, as you can see. This is all private property, so if you're down here, behave. Because if SpaceX is being assaulted by tons of fans who don't obey the rules, it might change and they might not want to let us watch anymore. So please be nice if you're making the trip down here. Obey the rules. Don't enter the premises. Don't be trespassing, and so on and so forth. But if you do, everybody is happy if you obey the rules and are a nice space fan. Tour hype! Yeah, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. Honey, do you have another question for me? Do you have something? Guys, if you have questions, please shoot them out. My wife is helping, and a few others. The moderators are on the stream as well. So tag my who are they supposed to tag for a question?
Split Second Mom.
Split Second Mom at Split.
Is it?
I think
No, Stephanie Schlang.
at Stephanie Schlang. That's her tag on the stream.
Asking about you moving to Florida.
Yes. Okay, so you were asking about me moving to Florida. So the plan has been in place for 2 years now that we want to move to the United States, of course, because, I mean, look what's happening here, and that's the only place in the world where you can witness this, and I don't want to be missing this, and I want to be able to talk to you about all the people that can't visit. I want to bring this to you. So that's the whole idea behind it, and I have family in the United States anyway, and they're very much looking forward to having me closer by. And yeah, the plan is to move to Florida, to close to the Cape. Give me a second, I'm going to switch the camera again. There you go, close to the Cape. And the problem is that we were blocked by COVID. The borders were closed for every European, so you couldn't enter if you weren't a president of a country or something. Or apparently football stars were able to enter as well, but I wasn't. And they opened the borders on November 7th, and we entered the country on November 16th. So we made it down here the earliest we possibly could have, and now we've finally been able to set the last missing pieces in place, because we had to do this in the United States, get an ID and all these kinds of things, and things are in motion, and we are pretty much almost ready to move. So yeah, we're going to move to the United States, and I can't wait for that to happen, because then I'll be down here so much more often. How different is Starbase from the photos and videos versus reality? Okay, so the biggest difference is the size. Haha, pun intended. The biggest difference is big. Everything looks so much bigger in reality down here. You see these pictures and it just doesn't bring the size across. These tanks over there, for example, I mean, you see them right now, and they look big compared to the truck and things like that, but they are the size of a small submarine. It's huge. Everything is huge down here. This tank farm is far bigger than I thought it would be in reality. I mean, I knew it is 9 meter in diameter, Starship segments, because for those who do not know the fuel farm, what you're seeing here are the cryo shells. They are there to insulate the tanks that are inside, and the tanks inside have been built out of Starship segments. So it's the same diameter, 9 meters. But 9 meters is that's a lot. In reality, I mean, find a room in your house that's 9 meters across, and you'll know what kind of a diameter a Starship has, and that doesn't come across in pictures at all. I don't want to photobomb. Okay, so there's tons of people here on the road watching what SpaceX is doing, and there's tourists pouring in from everywhere, because the word gets out more and more that SpaceX is doing something pretty awesome here, and so more and more people are showing up as well. That's why I said earlier, when you do the trip down here, please do behave and stick to the rules, and don't be that guy destroying the opportunity to watch SpaceX for everybody else. Just stick to the rules and be nice. And yeah, that's the biggest difference from picture to reality, is the size of things doesn't come across in pictures. It really doesn't. You see a picture of the Empire State Building and you think, oh wow, that's a big building. But if you stand in front of the front door and you look up, you know how large it actually is, and that doesn't come across in the picture. So that's ship 20 over there. And I'm so close that I can actually spot the different star bricks on the hull. It's just incredible. Please do tell me if I'm going to watch the bars on my reception, because I'm walking up the road here right now. It's still good though, so it should be the same quality as down there. Yeah, there's Starhopper on the side. It's being used as a water tower now, and a weather station, and it's got some cameras on it and some light. And there are tables and chairs under it, so people eat under Starhopper nowadays, and so on and so forth. And I'm really, really happy that SpaceX was able to save Starhopper, because that's, well, everybody who's been following SpaceX knows that's what it all started with. And yeah, my wife wants to kiss Starhopper desperately. She can't though, because we can't go across the, I mean, imagine how badly I want to walk here across the road, but you really can't, and you shouldn't. So again, if you're down here, behave and stick to the rules so that we can all enjoy this more. So if I walk further down there, there's going to be the wall that is surrounding most of this place by now. So that wouldn't make any sense, but there's ship 20 right there. And it's almost spitting distance. It's crazy. At the Cape, for example, where NASA and ULA and all the other big players are doing their things, you can't even enter the premises because you need a security check, and you would never get close to anything if you're not an accredited reporter or anything important, any important person that has to actually do something with it. As a tourist, you can't. And here at SpaceX, it's across the road. Ship 20 is across the road, and ship 15 and 16, you can walk up so close that if you want to take a selfie with it, you have to point the camera into the sky because you're that close to a starship. You can almost touch it. It's incredible. That is a very, very unique experience, and I can only recommend to anybody who can make the trip down here. It's not a tourist attraction because there is no Disney World close, or it's not famous for its cuisine or anything, and the beach is just a beach, and you won't find a margarita down there at the beach, but you'll find this. And if you're interested in this, it's definitely worth it to come down here. So please do so if you can. I'm still trying to pick up a few questions, so if you have them, just put them in the chat. Now and then when I stop talking, I'm trying to pick them up, but it's really difficult on a phone. It's the same thing I had last time. Okay, so give me a second. Planning to visit Starbase in the near future as well, but I am not sure what's the best place to sleep at. Okay, you can get hotels in Brownsville, and those will be fine, and they'll do the trick. But if you want to get the special treatment, go to Rocket Ranch. We're staying there right now, and we're having a blast. It's amazing. It's right next to Rio Grande. They have a boat. They can take you out to a viewing gantry that they've already built, where you can view the whole facility from a safe position. So if there's launches going on, please do contact Rocket Ranch, and if not, you can also contact them. There's the best coffee at Starbase can be found at Rocket Ranch, and they are awesome and very, very friendly people, and it'll be just the much more unique experience. So you can decide, go for the hotel in Brownsville or hit up Rocket Ranch. I did hit up Rocket Ranch, and I did not regret it. And I can see the Raptor engines on the Booster 4. It's right across the road. Can I zoom in? Give me a second. Well, yeah, I can. Look at that. Look at this. It's right there. I'm trying to stabilize it as good as I can. I have a gimbal. I haven't made my move to the USA yet, no. We've put the last puzzle pieces in place, basically, and now we're ready to move. Hopefully March next year. So it's really close. Another 4 months or so for us to pack up the household and actually get the visa, which we haven't received yet, but that should only be a matter of time. Anything else you want to see up close? Because I have found out that I can zoom in, and since I have a gimbal, the view should be pretty stable. You see, I can fine move everything. I can give you a slow pen of Booster 4 here. There's the quick disconnect plate. And we go up for it. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful down here. Look at this. And it's changed so much since the first crude prototypes they put out. This is actually turning into something that is actually flight worthy, and they're close to flying to orbit. It's not that long off anymore, and I do think it's not that far off with payload either, because once they reached orbit, the next logical step is to go for demonstration payload and then for a real thing. And that's, of course, at least I do strongly believe that the first payloads they are going to shoot up with a Starship is going to be Starlink satellites, because it's SpaceX's own payload. It's easy for them to manufacture it. It's not super expensive, and they need to shoot up a lot of those Starlink satellites anyway. So yeah, Starship is the perfect solution, and it needs lots of flights. So I think it's going to be Starlink. Yeah, there you go. That's Booster 4. It's amazing. And there we are at the Raptor engines again. 28 are installed right now, I think, and they already have the surrounding shield installed. If you look at the metal that shines in between those engines, that is the shield that is going to hopefully protect the Raptor engines when the booster re-enters, and when it goes up, it'll shield the plumbing inside the engine skirt from too much heat and things like that. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm out of. There you go. Yeah, recommendation on places to stay locally would definitely be Rocket Ranch. There are hotels in Brownsville, and that'll all be fine, and so on and so forth. But if you want to have the unique experience and you're not traveling with toddlers or something like that, I'd say Rocket Ranch, because that is the unique experience. It's amazing. It's built by Starship fans, for Starship fans, and that's always going to be much better than a hotel. In 29, yeah, thank you. It's just a much more unique experience. That's why we chose Rocket Ranch, and I did not regret it for a second. There you go, I'm zooming out again. Oh, wait, that's not that easy. And there's Ship 20. Let's zoom in on that because they're doing something over there. Right, there you go. I can't zoom in further than that. Let's just walk a little bit further. People are, I mean, look, wait a second. There we go. Okay, so this is Ship 20 over there. And okay, let's zoom in again. Give me a second. There we go. They're doing something. Can't spot what it is. I'm going to move a little bit further so we have a better angle. But it does look like raceway work, if you ask me. And it's just barely visible what they're doing. Just a little bit more. They're not working on it, actually. They're just very close to it. Ship 20 is waiting for the big day. So my guess is that once they are done with testing the, give me a second, I'm going to zoom out again. Once they're done with testing the orbital launch mount, the quick disconnects and everything, once they know that it works properly, they're likely going to remove the scaffolding, put the booster on, do a static fire, and then they're ready. That's basically all that's missing. And we're so close to it, and I can't wait. And like I said, I think January is pretty realistic. It's not an Elon time, I think. If something terrible happens and they hit a dead end with some idea that they tried out and it didn't work, it might still change. But other than that, I think it's pretty much going to be January, which is pretty awesome because it's very close by. And we've been waiting for this for a long time. That was Jaina drive by there. She's hopefully going to join the live stream later on. That would be really, really cool. See the quick disconnect arm up there? I'm going to zoom in on that as well. There you go. Oh, wait. I got a guest here, a cameo. Look at that. That is Luis, one of the two YCam operators. And he has his sleek Model 3 with him. And he looks very shiny in it. Come on over, park your car. So there's plenty of friendly people here, that's for sure. It's really, really nice. So again, on the quick disconnect, give me a second, there it is. I love this gimbal, it works just fine. Can finally adjust the picture, very nice. All right, so there's no work going on it, but it's also, is it still missing the actual panel, the quick disconnect panel for the fueling? Let me see if I can spot it, because I have been on vacation for a few days now, and so I of course haven't been super closely following what they've been doing on site, but we can spot it live. So let's do that. Whoa, wait, there you go. Oh, there it is. I'm walking, and so walking and keeping it in picture is, well, it works. I'm walking right now, and I can still keep the picture stable. This thing is very, very handy. I am not sponsored by them, but it is a DJI Osmo. I can really, really recommend this thing if you want to do some proper holiday video with your phone. It works just nice. I'm walking down the road right now, and the picture is incredibly stable. This is really, really nice. I was thinking, so it doesn't look like there is fuel lines. I can spot the fuel lines, but I would have to walk even further down to actually see. Yes, fuel lines. But Mauricio, where are you when we need you? We need an aerial picture. Like I said, I haven't spent much time looking at pictures recently because I was so busy meeting people and doing things and keeping the family together on this awesome trip. So it does look like it's on top. It does look like it's on top.
Honey?
Yes.
Mama asked me if you want to meet Elon.
I hopefully will meet Elon. He doesn't know about it yet, that he's incredibly lucky to meet me. But yeah, I'm working on it. The guy is just insanely busy, and I can understand that he doesn't hop on the next opportunity to meet another YouTuber. Tim has had the opportunity a few times now, but he's got the bigger channel as well, and he's worked hard for it, so give him that. And But yeah, I'm working on it, let's say that, but I can't promise anything. It does look like, I can't really tell. Huh. Ah, this is so nice to be down here. I hope you're enjoying the show, everybody. If you have more questions, just shoot them out and I'll show you live.
He's got a gift for you.
He's got a gift for me, okay.
Yeah, because we're standing here all day.
All right, so this is Louise, one of the YCam operators.
Wow.
There you go. You got to talk into here.
Hello, I am Luis, the famous YCam Luis guy. A part with Chief as well.
Is he? But he's
Just got
did
here, yeah.
Is he here?
Yeah, he
All
just
right, so
got
the
here.
chief is coming as well, so
I
you can meet
also
the
brought
the
a
two of
gift
them.
because I hadn't brought anything for him yet, and I didn't know what cake you liked. So, since everyone likes cheesecake, I also brought multiple cheesecakes. So
Woo!
that's for you.
I definitely do love it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I am set up for dinner here. That is going to be my dinner.
Enjoy live streaming. I'll be leaving. So
No!
have fun.
Oh God. Okay, so that's what always happens. My wife just took the food and
Usually I feed you.
you see, that's my life. That's what I got to work with.
In case you guys wanted to see the kind of equipment I used to take the photos down here, it's this giant thing. This is the camera that takes all the photos and stuff for the majority of the photos apart with Chief and whatnot. So it's huge.
It's heavy.
It's very
It's
heavy.
almost as big as a starship.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Mark Jones.
There you go. You're going to see the pictures taken with the camera later on Twitter. It's always worth it to follow us on Twitter. Like Louise, Chief, me, we're super active on Twitter, so it's always worth it to follow us there. All right, give me a second. I can even, oh, look at that. Manly. All right, give me a second. All right, I'm gonna switch the camera again. Ja, Schatzelein, was denn?
Welche Rakete findest du am besten? Die? Oder die?
Ich glaube, oh, das ist hier, die ist sehr schön. Die ist sehr, sehr schön. Die gefällt mir sehr gut.
Dann Mama, die findest?
Give me a second, I gotta talk to my
Mama
daughter.
findet die am besten.
Die ist auch sehr schön. Oh, sogar mit, was heißt das?
Girl.
Bitte?
Girls.
Girls. Oh, sehr schön. Sehr, sehr schön.
Ich weiß halt nicht richtig, wie man das schreibt.
Ja, das lernst du noch. Keine Sorge, Mauselein. Okay. Chief is coming down the road.
He's coming.
Ja, die ich dir gezeigt hatte, die finde ich sehr, sehr, sehr schön. Hier, diese, die finde ich ganz, ganz toll. All right, Chief's coming. Give me a second.
Wow, these are
I hope the connection is still good. Oh, wait. That is Chief.
I'm getting out.
The woman running out of the picture right now is Jenna. Anthony from Rocket Ranch again. And other people in the background. Don't mind them. But they are waving and they're happy. So that's Chief and that's Louise. Those are the two people taking the pictures for you, the videos that I talk about. And look at them. They look like Rambos with their. That is amazing. So if you want to say anything to the crowd, give me a second. I'm going to turn the camera around. This is your opportunity, and you got to
Yeah.
talk into this.
Okay. I just want to say hi to everyone, and I've been here a month, and I can't believe I'm so lucky to be able to be a part of this, and I hope to do my best for everyone out there. I'm one lucky guy. Thanks for everything, guys.
Woo! All right, I'm turning the camera again. Give me a second. So this is the whole Y gang here, checking out Starbase, and for them it's daily life, and for me it's those precious moments that I really, really hope that are going to turn into daily life as well. I can't wait for this to happen. Like I said, hopefully March, and it's going to be good. Let me check the battery life on the phone.
Did we miss anything fun today?
It's 45%. Well, so far we've just been talking about the stuff that's already here. There are no apparent tests going on. They're working on the heat exchangers over there for the Orbital fuel farm. As you can see, they lifted these pipes into place yesterday.
They were
These-
doing a lift down there by the production area.
All right, what kind of lift?
I just saw the
the load spreader
Yeah.
and a crane down there.
All
So
right.
It looked like they were either getting ready to do it or already doing it. But
There's always something going on.
no, it didn't look too exciting. This is much more exciting. There's a lot of people here today.
So they've been lifting these connection tanks into connection pipes into place yesterday. We witnessed it live. So these here have been lifted into place yesterday, and they're still working on something in the background there. As you can see, the crane is attached. They're always working on something. Woo, Tesla going by. There's tons of Teslas here. I'm surprised. It's of course it's another small company that Elon does, and so there's tons of Teslas down here. Hey guys, you're our heroes. Wave to the crowd. Yeah, there's so many SpaceX workers down here, and most of them don't even know how important they are for all of us. So cheer for them whenever you can. They really deserve much more applause than anybody else because they're building our dream. I want this to zoom out completely. I think it is now. Yeah, another small company, exactly. So you'll find plenty of Teslas down here, and that is really, really nice because I drive a Tesla myself, and I have to say it's not the perfect car in any regard, but it's the best car I've ever driven. Tesla is doing a fine job there. Cable connections going up there, another raceway. And then you got the comparison, the size comparison again. This guy, right? And now I'm zooming out, and that's, I can't even get it. There you go. Now it's, I mean, look at the guy still. It's huge, and that doesn't come across in pictures. It's so much bigger than you might imagine right now. It's just so much bigger than I would have thought. Every time, last time I was here, same thing. I walked up to everything and I was like, oh my God, the Star Hopper is huge. I thought it was that thing over there. That guy here is just so much bigger in reality than it looks on pictures. And that goes for everything down here. The booster here, I can't even imagine what it's going to be when it launches. Because it's a giant. It's gigantic. There's no other word to describe it. And that's going to be amazing to see the thing launch into the sky. And it's going to do that from right over there. From right there. That's Boca Chica. So you can make the trip down here. It is definitely worth it. It is definitely worth it. It's amazing. It's just amazing. Crown block up there. Everything's attached already. Let me zoom in again. Give me a second. Lift's been going up constantly inside the tower while I was talking. And there's the crown block up there. The pulley system is in place. They're close to testing the chopsticks. That shouldn't take too long anymore until they start testing them. I haven't heard anything about a drop test being planned, but that would be the logical thing to do, I guess. I don't know though if they're actually going to do it. We'll have to wait and see. Just zooming out a little bit more because everything's big here. Yeah, like I said, they're working on the heat exchangers right now, a lot. They have been yesterday and they have been today. So this looks like a main focus point right now, connecting the heat exchangers to the GSE tanks, as it seems right now. As you can see, the crane is still holding one of the white pipes. Let me zoom in here again on the guy looking straight at us because he's wondering. He was looking straight at me earlier because I attract quite the crowd here. It's a humbling feeling as always. And the crane still is holding the pipe, and it's an insulated big pipe, so it's a fuel pipe. And so they might be connecting the heat exchangers to the GSE tanks right now, at least on this side. On the other side, it looks more finished. Let me just walk over there real quick. Give me a second. Zoom out here again and walk over to the other side. It's closer to the beach, so I don't know, again, if the reception is bad. I apologize, I'm sorry. That's all I can do down here with the phone. But it's working pretty good. I'm surprised every time. Last year, it was a test run. Let's do some live streaming from Boca Chica. And it worked out surprisingly well. So here you go. That's as live as it gets. I'm walking down Highway 4 right now. Beautiful nature down here as well. There's tons of birds and wildlife, and I really do hope that the industry coming into the area is not going to harm it too much. I mean, it's going to have its effect on the area, that's for sure. It already does. But let's keep it to a minimum because this place is actually pretty beautiful. But there you go. That's the other side of the fuel farm. I really hope that let me check the bars on my reception if it's dropping or... Oh, it's actually climbing. Okay, perfect. So the closer I go to the beach, the better the reception. So this is the other side. With this GSE bunker, I guess. I'm not too sure what this building is for. It looks like a GSE bunker. And then you have the other heat exchangers on the other side, and that looks much more finished already. If you look at the raceways over here, there's everything in place already. Like I said, they are close. They are close. This doesn't look too much like an unfinished project anymore. There are parts that are still not finished, but there you go. It does look, it's about getting there, if you're asking me. It really does. There's a nice slow-mo on the heat exchangers. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, my favorite Martian. As I said, whenever I can, I do read the chat, but it's really difficult for me because on the phone it is much harder. It will always be the question, what does more harm? Putting up industry, but keep routes short or getting everything from farther away with tons of lorries. There's a huge RV going by, and he was smiling at me. There you go. Yeah, you have to find the balance between things. And so far it does look like SpaceX is finding the balance, because if I walk further down here to the end of the complex, you see the birds right there. There's so much nature in this place. You see the birds sitting on the fence? They are surrounding everything here. Nature is a part of all this, and it should be kept that way. Let's say that. Look at they are watching SpaceX. Let me zoom in on them. Give me a second. See that? They've been here for longer, and they're watching SpaceX closely. I'm being filmed while I'm walking down the road. Give me a second. I'm zooming out again so you don't get the seasickness here from me. I'm trying to keep the picture as stable as possible. So here we go. There comes the integration tower into view again behind the orbital fuel farm. And it is gigantic. It's just so big. That's the biggest difference between watching the YouTube videos and looking at the occasional picture and actually being here. It looks so big. It's incredible. It's just incredible. I can barely fit it into the frame. That's how big it is. And I'd say at least 100 meters away, 150 maybe, something like that. So I'm pretty far away. Nature adapts better than people, yeah, to a certain degree. But if you get rid of the base, the foundation that the nature needs, and that's this part of Boca Chica. If you look at that, I'm holding up the arm right now. It's a beautiful landscape, and that's what these birds depend on. So if it gets too big, the birds will go away. It might be a necessity, but yeah. As I said, I'm always trying to find balance in my life, in everything I do, and I do think it's possible with this as well. So you can keep the nature and still do the Starship launches. And I think SpaceX so far is doing a pretty good job with it. Because if you look down here, everything's still untouched. See, it's surrounded by beautiful nature. And over there, all the way in the distance, give me a second, there is South Padre Island. And if you were wondering where La Padre has his camera, I'm trying to walk over here. Give me... Nope, I can't see it from here. So it's further down that way. In the distance, there's a mast that has plenty of cameras on it, and that's La Padre's equipment, and he's also present on the beach, filming over the dunes, and that's where I'm going to go after this live stream. I'm going to try to do a little dance on one of La Padre's cameras that's located down there at the beach, and it's going to be fun. So once I finish, please head over to La Padre. They're going to be happy to see you guys. Super chat if you can, cheer for them, like their stream. That's very, very important for us people. do like my stream as well. If you have the time, just press the. Excuse me?
Is there any launch happening today?
No, not today. In January.
In January?
They're still in preparations, and it'll take. It's that thing is supposed to go to Mars. So there's
Which
a lot
one?
of work. No, those are prototypes, but they are going to lead up to what's going to go to launch to Mars. So if you see that big booster there with these things on top, that is booster. I'm explaining to a few people. Give me a second. So that's booster 4. So it's the 4th prototype they are building of the super heavy booster that is going to carry the Starship into orbit, and then the Starship is going to fly to the moon, to Mars, and so on and so forth. So it's a 2-stage rocket, and it's going to launch from that thing over there, that gray table-like thingy in the distance there. And once they return, they are going to be caught by this tower. So these big black things there on the bottom are the so-called chopsticks, and they're going to go up on rails, and when the booster comes back down again, it's going to land on those 2 chopsticks, and then will be placed on the orbital launch mount again, get fueled, and launch again. That's the whole plan behind it. And it's a very, very unique system. Nobody has ever built this, and that's why they have to prototype it first. So they are going, they are implementing new ideas as they go along. And so that's the biggest difference between SpaceX and everybody else building rocks right now, because they're building something nobody has ever built before.
Good to know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So what was I saying? I don't know anymore. I'm sorry. Don't worry. All good. So yeah, there's something happening everywhere here. Basically, at the launch site, there's always something going on at the production site over roughly in that direction. Behind this stuff here is the production site. I'm going to go there and try to do a live stream from there later on today, because I'll have to recharge the phone, because it eats up battery like crazy when I'm live streaming. So I'll have to recharge it before I do another live stream. Maybe I might even do that live stream tomorrow. I don't know yet, but I'll try to do another live stream from the production side, because there's plenty of stuff happening there as well. And you can walk around it, or not completely around it, but you can go up to serial number 15 and 16, and I can show you that, and so on and so forth. So this is a wondrous place. And if you ever have the time, again, please do go there. There's a few more people there waving. It's crazy. Everybody's recognizing me here down. If I told this story yesterday to a few people talking to me, that if I would have known what happens with What About It when I recorded the first episode, I would have jumped out the window probably or something. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. Yeah, thank you guys for being with me on this journey. It's amazing, and it's a pleasure to be able to do this for you people. I love doing this. So there you go. Oh, I think I was shouting out for La Padre before I started explaining the rudimentary outlinings of Starship to these people that walked by. As I said, when I'm done with this live stream, please do head over to his. I'm not sponsored by him. He doesn't even know this. I talked to him yesterday that I want to do a little dance in front of the camera, and then he told me where the best option for that is, and that's the camera down there on the beach. And I'm going to walk there, and you'll be able to see me do crazy stuff in front of this camera, and I'm going to love it. All right, give me a second. I'm going to try to find more questions. So if you have a question, now is the time to put it in the chat, because now I'm reading the chat. The rover cam, yeah. And they're working everywhere. Will SpaceX build a bigger Starship? Unlikely. They might in the future, but right now they're trying to optimize the 9-meter diameter design. So they have their hands full. What are these giant tanks? It's a good question. Plenty of people will already know, but I'm always all for explaining it again. The orbital fuel farm, that is where Starship will draw its fuel for the orbital launches. I kid you not, it's 8 tanks with water, lots nitrogen and methane, and these 8 tanks are needed to do one launch. No matter what rumors you've heard, I talked to a few people yesterday and they confirmed it to me, it's one launch. That thing is one. It's crazy, and it's huge. I kid you not, it's the biggest tanks I've ever seen in my life. It's huge. It doesn't come across in the picture. So that is the giant tanks. That's the orbital fuel farm, and it's connected to all the stuff behind it. And yes, I do think it's very, very close to the orbital launch table, but SpaceX might know what they're doing there. So, and it's connected to that thing there. That is the orbital launch table. And there's pipes going towards the orbital launch table, and then and towards the tower actually, because it needs to fuel the Starship as well. So there's pipes running up in that tower up there to the quick disconnect, which is going to fuel the Starship. And the booster is going to be fueled by this little box here on top of the orbital launch mount. And that's how they are fueling the Starship. This is the fuel station for Starships. That's how big it is. Where are the bathroom facilities for spectators? Well, if I'm not on camera, I might go into the dunes, but there are no bathroom facilities for spectators. SpaceX is busy getting us to Mars, and they are not busy building a visitor complex. And I do completely understand that. So there isn't really, that's why earlier when I said you do need to go here if you're interested in Starships, but you don't need to go here if you want to do a family vacation. Because this spot is something for engineers or people who are interested in engineering and spaceflight and awesome Mars rockets, but it is all but an amusement park. It's loud here, it's dusty, there is work, and I love it, but you shouldn't really do it with a family that is looking to do a Disney World experience or something. For that, go to Kennedy Space Center, because there you have a visitor complex and you can see the whole Apollo story and you can see Atlantis, one of the space shuttles, and it's beautifully presented, but this is raw. This is stuff happening. That is the difference between this and the Kennedy Space Center visitor complex, where you can also get a nice burger after you looked at the Saturn V. This is not the place for that. But Rocket Ranch, as I said, is close by, and it's a beautiful place to stay, to sleep, to have one of the best coffees, honestly, I've ever had in my life. It's really, really great there. Fun people to talk to, people who know what they're talking about. If you have questions, they'll be able to answer them, and so on and so forth. So please do contact Rocket Ranch if you want to go down here, because it is a beautiful place to go. All right, I know I've said that a few times. Again, I'm not sponsored. I'm just getting the word out to what to do here when you're here, because you don't need to make beginner's mistakes if you have somebody telling you where you should go. And that's where I did go, and I did certainly not regret it. Okay, give me a second. I'm reading the chat again. Chopsticks vision system, yeah, there are cameras on the chopsticks. I've pointed them out on an episode before. I think if I haven't done so yet, I'm going to do that on one of the next episodes. There are cameras on there, and there are going to be markers on the booster and on the Starship, and it's an optical system. That's the only way to go. I think I've said that a year ago, but when they didn't even have it built yet, and Elon was just saying that they might want to catch them, I said optical system would be the way to go, and that's exactly what they're building. It's the only thing that makes sense. So that's what they're doing. Give me a second, zooming around and reading the chat. Greetings from Germany, thank you. Greetings back from Boca, Chica, Texas. And Horatio, you were at the meetup in Titusville, thank you very much. Lots of visitors around, yep. I haven't met Ocean Cam yet. No, I haven't met Ocean Cam. I haven't met Stargazer, and I would love to. And if you guys hear this right now, I know that Carlos Nunes wants to meet me. I would love to. I saw it on Twitter. I just didn't have the time to reply. Carlos, if you're watching this, or if anybody has contact with Carlos, please do tell the people to meet me. I'd love to. I'd seriously love to.
So we're about to head to the beach. If you want to come along, you can get a good side view, and the signal over there is a lot better. If you want to come do that.
Yeah.
Also, keep the merge.
Also, Starbase.
Yeah.
All right, but how we're going to walk?
So, no, Chief is going to bring his truck, and we're just all going to hop in the back.
All right, we'll do that.
Fighting if you want to come as well.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll keep the stream running. If I can. Where are we go? Down to the beach.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, let's do that.
And then you'll be able to see the rover cam as well from over there. So.
All right.
Cool. But
we'll
yeah,
do that.
The signal's a lot better over there.
It's actually pretty good here. I mean, there have been some complaints.
Yeah, down there is kind of spotty.
Yeah, 2 bars right now. 3 bars. So it's fairly good. Yeah, well, yeah, let's do that. Absolutely. Guys, I'm going to take you on a tour to the beach, as you just heard. So stay tuned. We're trying to give you the whole tour, basically, as much as we can. And it is amazing, and it doesn't get old either. I've been here yesterday and the day before. And every time I see this, it amazes. It doesn't fail to impress. It's incredible. They've been installing scaffolding all along the tower recently, so I guess they might get ready to put panels on, which will be incredible to see as well. If you can see here, there's scaffolding all over the place. I'm going to slow pan down so you can actually see it. And yeah, it's all over the place. I'm not yet living in the US, and I'm probably very far behind on the chat. Whenever it shakes, I'm touching the display. I'm sorry, because I have to scroll through the... When do you think Booster 4 testing will start? Well, technically it's already started, but they're getting it ready for static fires, and I do think it's not going to be that long anymore. But the problem is that the orbital launch mount needs to be ready for that. So they are testing quick disconnects on there, which they'll need to test prior to lifting any booster onto the orbital launch mount. So that'll take a moment, but they're getting ready. All right, give me a second. I'm hopping on a pickup truck here. All right, honey, you got to close the car. Give me a second. Do I have the keys is the question. Give me a second. I'm still fondling around here. Yeah, I do. Give me a second. I'm closing the car.
Oh, you give me the keys.
I give you the keys. There you go. So we're on the flatbed of Chief's pickup truck now, and you're live with us. There it is, and we're going down to the beach. Are we going to sit down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, make yourself comfy.
Yeah, I'll try not to fall off. There you go, and you're live with us, everybody. Stay tuned.
Sit on here, please.
Yes.
Otherwise, I'll just die.
Oh wait, my wife says I need to be more.
I'll go slow.
Yeah, I think I'm fine sitting there. Seriously. Honey, don't be worried.
I'll hold you.
I've done more crazy, so I'm going to sit here, okay?
I will hold them, I promise.
There you go. I'm fine. Everything's good. I won't be killed.
You want to come to the back?
Oh, can I come to the...
I'm sitting in the in the truck right now. There you go. And my wife said I'm not supposed to sit up here because she was too worried.
Because that's where pro's gonna sit, you know?
Where'd he go?
Yeah, and then she sits down on top of it, of course. There you go. Typical. Give me a second.
Felix?
Yes. Who wants to say? Oh, hi!
Hope you enjoyed that buffalo trace.
Thank you, yeah.
Oh, you walked all the way down there.
I'm trying to give you the best picture I
Walking
can,
that way.
but there's a lot of stuff I have to handle here right now, so
Oh yeah, no, you're
bear
right.
with me. I'm trying to read the chat again.
Yeah, I got you.
For coffee live stream from Rocket Ranch, pretty starsuit model, ocean diesel smells. What?
Up.
I couldn't read it. Give me a second. How long staying at Rocket Ranch? Until tomorrow evening, I guess. How many sightseers are usually around? Any bad behaviors to avoid that you've seen? Yeah, don't trespass. Just don't do any trespassing. Be nice, stick to the rules. Rocket Ranch, again, is absolutely amazing. It's an awesome place to stay. You can't do anything wrong there. If you're not looking for luxury, you don't get all-inclusive, fancy marble, whatever, but you get the authentic experience, and I love it. I do love it. I'm that kind of person, and if you're that kind of person as well, go there. So we're moving.
He's coming.
No! Anthony! Oh, you lost something.
Anthony's coming. All right, you can see Anthony running towards the truck.
And now slowly
Action.
forward.
There's action happening. Anthony.
Action shot.
Action shot. To the beach. Charge. All right, we're going to the beach. Everybody,
You're not
you're live
laughing,
with us.
otherwise I'll
I
do
hope I won't lose reception, but we're going to the beach. Bum, 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 bum. There we go. Like I said, awesome people here. Come down if you can. It's really a joy to be here. It really is a joy to be down here every time.
Sheriff's like,
What's happening? Give me a second. This is going to be a nice shot. Amazing. It's baffling.
this place like really grew super quick. Yeah, right?
You see dirt.
That's snow grass.
And I do love the gimbal. It gives such a stable picture. It's not even shaking. It's really nice. While we're driving down the bumpy road. This is doing a good job. All right, we're approaching the beach. Give me a second. Don't get seasick, please. There you go. Boca Chica Beach, live.
Welcome.
If you haven't been here yet,
Boca Chica Beach.
this is right next to Starbase, basically.
Bienvenidos a Boca Chica. Ooh, Mexico it is.
Bienvenidos a Boca Chica Beach. Exactly. Okay, so, and there is. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. And the stream's running again. So that wasn't a good idea, but I at least showed you a little bit of the beach. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all good. It happens down here a lot. So for all those who are still with us, yeah, we're back. Hey! People driving by, I'm sorry. Yeah.
We just go to the beach with him while you walk.
Go ahead, have fun. I still have a little battery left, so I'll keep the stream running, and there's certainly a lot of stuff to talk about. And I can stand on the pickup truck now, so I have a elevated position now, which is pretty good. So they put the cover on the pipes there.
Throw you off the top because we wanted to rush to
Oh, okay. Give me a second. Hey. All right, I'm off the truck. Give me a second. I wanted to show you. That is interesting. They put up a cover, so they might be either shielding it from view, or they might be welding under it to prevent it from, or they just might cover it so there's no sand or dust coming in. That could be too. I'll try to get to the other side here real quick. Give me a second. It's definitely a cover. Can't tell what it's for though, and it wasn't there earlier. They're still working on the raceway right there. And so they're doing the connection work they've already done on the other side, on this side now. And there's the cover I'm talking about. They put that up in the last 10-20 minutes or something. Woohoo! And there they go towards the beach. Give me a second. I'm scrolling out again. There they go towards the beach. Bye-bye! Because the kids really need something to do. I have my 3 kids with me, and they were bored like crazy, of course, because they love this, but sitting here for an hour and not doing anything isn't their thing to do. And so they are off to the beach, where I'm going to go after this live stream, and then I'll try to dance in front of the rover cam. Don't forget about that. It's going to be awesome. It'll be the only time you ever see me dancing on a live stream, most likely. So that might be worth it. I'm trying to get a good view of the orbital launch table. Now I know what kind of trouble my photographers run into on a daily basis, because it really isn't easy to get a good angle on things. But there you go. There's an RV coming by. Give me a second. That'll pass, and this is the orbital launch mount. Give me a second. I'm going to try to stabilize the picture as good as I can. There you go. And so once scaffolding is coming down from this, you'll know that they are approaching a static fire, because they can't do any static fire testing with the scaffolding still on. No matter what you might have heard somewhere, they can't do that before this isn't finished, or at least operational. And so they still have a few things to do. But they're getting there. And that is certainly amazing to see. Especially standing here is certainly amazing to see. There you go. Yeah, I'm sorry for moving too fast. Kids aren't running behind the truck. I'm trying to read the chat here again because I have some time. Give me a second. Whenever the picture does this, I'm tapping on the screen. Yep. Percentage is your phone at? My phone is at 26. We're nearing completion of the live stream because I'll have to keep some battery life in it. But I'll charge it at the car again, I hope. And then we might do another live stream today. But if not, we're definitely going to do another one tomorrow. I promise that. I will want to show you more of this. And it's certainly worth it, as you can see. This is pretty good. What SpaceX is doing down here is absolutely unique, and this might be the spot where we start our journey into not only into the solar system, because if you continue the path, it might even be the spot where we start our journey into the galaxy. Who knows what comes after Mars? But it's not going to be smaller than what came before Mars. It's always like that. It goes bigger and faster and better, and so Mars is only the first stop, if everything goes right. And that would basically mean that this spot is the one where we do start the journey. Booster 4 again, behind the new white and black, beautifully looking SpaceX crane. There's no work going on the booster right now. Nothing visible, at least. Test tank, and behind it is ship 20, and there's booster 3, which is likely going to be scrapped soon. I really don't think that they're going to use it for drop tests. We'll have to see, but if I have to bet on it, no. And there's ship 20. Oh, and I had a nice talk. We were all, of course, wondering why the tiles keep falling off. And so the reason why they fall off on static fires is because the ship is fixed on the bottom. And there's work going on under it right now. Let me zoom in. The ship is fixed on the bottom, and when the engines ignite, the vibration is logically more on top because it isn't fixed there. So it shakes more on the top, and that's why more tiles fall off on the top. And the reason why the tiles fall off is because it's the first one. Even the team putting the tiles on hasn't done it before. So they have to train literally everything. There needs to be a best practice in place how to attach star brakes onto a starship. And they'll get it. They'll get it. Don't worry about it. Ship 21 already looks better. And 22, 23, 23 might actually not be happening because we haven't spotted any parts of it yet. And I do have the theory that SpaceX is building these prototypes in batches, that there are only incremental changes in between starships that come, and boosters that come from one batch. So this is the first orbital starship batch. Ship 20 is the first one of the first orbital starship batch. And ship 21 is the second, and ship 22 is the third. Ship 23 hasn't been spotted yet, and it should have been. So my guess is that ship 23 is never going to be built, and 24 is going to be the next batch of orbital starships. And that is correct. 24 will be the next one with bigger changes. We'll have to wait and see what that is going to be, but that would be my theory. But there are plenty of theories out there, and this is not proven, and this is speculation. But let's out into the future if I was correct. And so they are doing work under ship 20 right now. Let me zoom back in there. You can see the lifts in there. So they're working on the engines right now. Definitely looks like it. I wish, it's just so tempting, you know? I zoom out again, give me a second. It's just so tempting. These are my feet down here, and I could just walk across Highway 4 if I run quick enough, you know. Do you think I can make it? Well, it would probably be the only time I can try, but it is tempting. I'm of course not going to do it because I don't want to be trespassing and I don't want to be a bully. I'm really happy actually that SpaceX lets us get so close, so I'm not going to jeopardize that. But it is tempting. There's nothing in between me and ship 20, and I could just, if I sprint, you know, I'm of course not going to do it. And you can see the suborbital fuel farm there in the distance. The black tanks are just part of the suborbital fuel farm and the blast berm in between. And SpaceX decided to do a similar thing. Give me a second. There's the blast berm that is protecting the suborbital fuel farm from every testing that is going on the suborbital pads A and B. Right here, there's one pad and the one that ship 20 is sitting on. And they have done the same thing. Let me just scroll over all the way to here. This berm is actually going down again, so they're going to change a few things here. I don't know exactly what they're going to change here. There's a stress test tank here. It's a stand that is for stress testing, and there's another one at the production site actually. they are doing load and stress testing on new designs, and they have these crazy hybrid thrust domes under these test articles, and yeah, and then there's just the blast berm, and then there's the orbital fuel farm, and they're doing the same thing behind this blast berm. There's another one going going that direction to shield the orbital fuel farm from what's happening here at the orbital launch table. But if it's crazy close, as you can see. It really isn't that much of a distance. And I one time, there's this joke still going on about what about it, and you might know it, that I at some point said there might be a possibility that this thing is a water tower. And I even made fun of it, of the idea of it being a water tower, by creating this thing about Team Water Tower and Team Orbital Launch Mount, even though there was a sign pointing towards it saying Orbital Launch Mount. I was really, really confused. I talked to a few people yesterday, and they said they saw it and they understood why I thought that, because it is unusual. It is right next to the orbital fuel farm, and it doesn't have any flame diverter system, and it doesn't really look like there is a flame diverter system planned either. And they are planning to launch the biggest rockets ever built, the most powerful rockets ever built. This booster has double the power, more than power of a Saturn V, and they're going to launch it without a production when there were just holes in the ground for the pillars that the orbital launch table is sitting on, these pillars, and there were only holes in the ground. And I looked at it from above, and it was circles, and I thought, but the piling work should have been my biggest clue, because you don't drive piles that insanely deep into the ground if you just want to build a water tower. But really, I was confused. And now we all know that it isn't a water tower, but it still is confusing to me. Honestly, it is still confusing to me, because it's right next to the orbital fuel farm, and I do not know why. And we'll have to wait and see. If there's anything happening here on a launch, chances are really, really high, even though there's a blast berm in between, that stuff is going to hit these. And they'll be empty when the Starship launches. So it's not going to be a huge explosion. But the problem is, even if they would be completely empty and there would not be any reaction-capable fuel in these tanks while something bad is happening over there, it still would mean that the project would be set back at least a few months. Because if you have to rebuild this, it takes time. And so that would be really, really bad. And so that's why I still don't understand why they have built it literally right next to each other. But again, on the other hand, these are the people building Falcon 9 rockets, landing orbital boosters. Nobody else does it. Building Crew Dragons and servicing the ISS with cargo dragons, and so on and so forth. So they might actually know what they're doing. And yeah, give me a second. Give me a second. I'm trying to read the chat again. Stormtrooper. Yeah, just look at Starhopper. Yeah, it's right there. It's right across the road. Look at this. This is the shot for the Starhopper lovers out there. I'm certainly one of them. I really do like that SpaceX saved it and that they didn't get rid of it, because it is what it all started with, and it was amazing to see the thing fly. It did it twice. It barely lifted above the plume it put out on the bottom, but it didn't matter, and we all knew it was starting with this little guy here, and it's still sitting next to the road. And they have 15 and 16 at the production site on display there. You can walk up to them, you're almost able to touch them, and yeah. It's quite something, I can tell you that. Okay, so my phone just told me that it's at 15%. And this sadly means that I'll have to quit on the stream, because it's going to run empty anyway very, very soon. Do like the stream. Do go to La Padre and watch out for my little appearance on the Raptor Cam. And thank you so much for joining me here again today. It's a joy to do this for all of you, to answer your questions as best as I can, and to be a witness to something that is absolutely unique. It is crazy what's going on here in Boca Chica. If you can, do come down here, because these are the precious early stages, you know. Later on, this is going to look different. Right now, you can see them all greased up trying to build the Mars rocket, and it's a unique atmosphere, trust me. So if you can, come down here. Look out for another live stream from me. I'm definitely going to do one. Give me a second, I'm going to switch the camera again so you can actually see me once more. There you go. So please do look out for another live stream from me. I'm definitely going to try to do one. I don't know if I can do it today. I'll try. I can't promise, but tomorrow I'll definitely do one, because then everything will be recharged again, and I can do the same thing I did today, not just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something, but for a meaningful time, because it's been 1 hour and 23 minutes we've been talking, and that is really, really nice, with a short interruption with our trip down to the beach that didn't work out. But there you go. That is Boca Chica, Texas, and I'm signing off. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for supporting. Please do check out our merch store. Christmas is approaching. There are plenty of designs on there if you want to support the channel. Do become a patron to join us on our Discord channel. There are plenty of people in there who'd love to see you there. Over 1,000 spaceflight enthusiasts. And thank you for being part of the journey. So I'll talk to you soon. The battery is almost running out. It was a pleasure. And go head over to Lab Padre. Say that you came from What About It, and they'll smile. And I'll talk to you soon. So now I just have to find the button where this turns off. I think it's this one. Bye-bye.